number 2, PVZ. Into the bottom left, we have a player with sick timings. He proved it on Whirlwind, and now he has to prove it again. We are on Daybreak, and starting to the bottom left in the red is our StarTale player. It is
StarTale Squirtle.
Pokemon Protoss, runner-up last season.
It was actually so funny at the finals when we had all these Squirtles drawn by people who attended the final. It was really, really amazing.
His opponent at the top right, a Zerg player from the team TSL. He's down a game, needs to tie this up. His ID is...
TSL symbol.
I saw on the Team Liquid live report thread today, I think the person who made the image, if I'm not mistaken, was Opera Town. I think he's Australian, but I don't know if I even said that right. But anyway, he made it. Whatever it is, but is that how it's said?
I think it's up down, yeah.
Okay, well, whatever his idea is, he made this cool image. It's on the live report thread. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. Shows the group.
Yeah, and he's from Australia. He's one of the guys that took over while Seeker was not able to do the live report threads himself. So that was actually, they really help each other out, and it's just awesome to see what the community is doing there.
Yeah, I really like those live report threads. They're always so well organized.
And they're getting better each time.
If I can't watch, or if I'm traveling during a GSL event, I know I can always count on live report threads to have every bit of information I would ever want. Thank you guys.
That's exactly what I did when I was in Germany. My father's internet is like really crappy, so I couldn't watch all the streams that I really wanted to, but whenever I wanted to check some of the results, this was one of the opportunities that I had. I could always go to Team Liquid, check out the live report threads, and would be up to date. Very well done here, by the way. With a symbol, he was able to chase Squirtle's probe away for long enough to place down his own hatch. I actually thought that Squirtle might be able to delay it a little bit longer.
Yeah, he actually could have done a better job with that if he chose to. For example, he could have made a pylon and decided not to. Forge going down, second pylon before gate. Interesting choice. And only 2 links coming out for Symbol, in fact.
Daybreak is one of these maps that is really kind of figured out in this matchup. We had so many games, and Daybreak has been around for an eternity now. I mean, I actually can't remember when Daybreak was introduced into the map pool, to tell you the truth.
It's been a long time. I think it was right after, it was the first season after maps like Dual Sight and Crevasse were in.
Yeah, I think it was last year when I just came to Korea, I think.
Yeah, it was around that time, actually.
Started, around that time, exactly. So, the map has been in the pool for a long, long time, and in PvZ it has been figured out kind of. Players know exactly what kind of timings could happen, where the overlords are being positioned, where pylons for the Protoss player are most likely to appear as soon as he decides to go for some kind of gateway pressure. So we normally have the overlords in position, Zergling scouting, and this all comes down to how well you execute your build, how good your timings are, how good your on-spot decision-making is. So there's usually not that much of sneaky play in this particular matchup going on Daybreak.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's just certainly figured out beyond any other maps. It's been in the pool so long.
Unless one of the players is named Freaky, of course.
Well, that can be pretty freaky to not even hide the fact that I wanted to make a pun there.
Freaky is just, his Infestor style is crazy. It's really, really crazy. And the guy is playing a very, very interesting Zerg style. But now we have Symbol, and Symbol is going for the 3 bases again, kind of what you usually do, starting off with a pool early without gas, and you take the second and the third base. Very, very late gas for him here. So right now he's just focusing on his economy. We have 5 minutes and 40 in the game. So at this point, Symbol will soon start his Roach Warren and his Evolution Chamber, usually around the 7-minute mark. Yeah. And the ball is kind of in the court of Squirtle right now. He has to decide what kind of tech he wants to choose, and he's going for gateway research already, but we're still waiting for his transition or for a lot of gateways.
Yeah, we're going to find out. He's got that pylon in his main base, which indicates he may add the 3 gates. You see double gas by Symbol at the natural. This is something that Squirtle actually did not get close enough to see. If he saw that, though, it might trick him into thinking it's 4 gas.
We have a pylon for Squirtle at the bottom left, and once again, the Overlord positioning, as it is right now, Symbol has the Overlord to the right side of his opponent's main base, so if he wanted to, if Squirtle wanted to, he could hide his tech, he could kill the Overlord. This is something that we've talked about yesterday, because we've seen Violet place an Overlord at the bottom left of the map, which is actually really smart if you want to be super safe that you are able to scout your opponent's base.
Nice cancel on this Tumor, by the way. He's going to potentially catch the Stalker, though. Nice micro there by both players. The Stalker does take a little bit of damage. But you're right. he's now going to add the Twilight Council. The fourth gases, third and fourth gases have been taken. Twilight Council is actually going to be in a position that he will not be able to see with his Overlord because, like you said, he came from a predictable location. Several gateways being added. He's going up to 4, and he doesn't see any of it.
This is awesome, how he waits until the Overlord walks to the left, flies to the left side of the base, and then he starts to not only set up his tech, but also additional gateways. And Symbol has to be wondering right now, what exactly is going on here? Everything is delayed a little bit at this point in time, but he has no idea what's going to hit him. We have the Robo, we have the Twilight Council already being completed, so Symbol, he's completely in the dark.
Yeah, and smartly so, he makes a macro hatch right now. This is actually just really, really good to see. Wow, he's never played a game that was less than 9 minutes. That's really interesting. And look at all of his stats. They're so... He has one weak point. I guess that's a 21 to 25 minute mark. But by weak point, I mean not that weak at all. Oh, wow. He's adding 5 gateways. He's going to hit a Blink Stalker with +2 attack with Observer. This is actually old school, man.
Is that even more? How many gates are this in total? This has to be like 9?
I think it's 8, if I'm not
it's 8.
mistaken. Yeah,
it's 8. I thought he built 4 earlier, but this is 8 gates, and as you said, Blink Stalker.
Oh, he's got to stop this Overseer.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's going to see everything, every single gateway. But even if he does, will he be able to stop this? That is the question.
And this is amazing. I mentioned earlier how Sybil was not able to get any scouting information whatsoever, so reaching Leertech, he immediately started with the Overseer because he knew, I have to scout, I have to do something. Now the Zergling run by is going to catch this third base. He has to cancel. He's going to force the cancel, there's no doubt in my mind. And at the same time, Sybil is now going to prepare for this push that is bound to happen.
Yeah, it is going to happen 100%. The Nexus being canceled makes it so. He has 800 mils banked up. Oh, nice force fields here, but one sentry. Well, that sentry got a little bit lucky. Oh, he's going to come. Wow, a lot of indecision there, but he baits some force fields. Yeah, this is really nice.
He's baiting so many force fields right now. The sentries survive, and I mean, it's nice to look at it, but they are out of energy.
Yeah, and now he's making the Nexus. Blink and +2 are done. He does have an Observer Flame, but he doesn't have a forward pylon. And you're right, drops are almost done.
He's going for the drop upgrade now too, so this is a little bit odd. He doesn't have a Baneling Nest, so we don't see Baneling drops on his army, but there's always what you can do against Protoss is you can drop into the main base quite easily and just try to open up another flank while you are posturing at the third, for example. So definitely an option here for Symbol, but he needs speed, and there's Overlord speed. A little bit too late. He should have started it earlier so that he finished at the same time, but well, can't really blame him. He was a little bit busy with his sentries.
He was definitely busy.
A little bit.
And to be honest, I feel like what we've seen here is Squirtle deciding to go for a push, then changing his mind after, or he had to do it for sure after the Nexus was there. I think it might have been a fake. Hold that thought. We're going to see Roaches charging here. Force field's going down. He still has enough left here, but
he's trying to commit, but I think he's a little bit overzealous because there are not enough Roaches, and he has to know it. Is he actually warping in us? No, he's not warping in units to cut off the retreat path of these Roaches, but, well, Symbol lost a fair amount of units there. Only a couple of force fields baited, but
he canceled the Nexus again.
The Nexus at the third had to be cancelled again, while Symbol took a fourth.
Yeah, this is
army supply.
Squirtle needs to make this push work. He's going to have +3 when it hits, but
he doesn't have a transition right
now. He has no transition whatsoever. He's going to have +3 versus the Roaches at +1 Carapace only.
There is no robotic spay, third base, nothing like this. He really wants to make this work, but Symbol is already far ahead in supply, and army supply that is. But there are no infestors, so he can't stop the Blink just now starting the infestation pit.
Oh, he's trying to set up a flank. He's trying to catch reinforcements, but the War Prism is in play. The force fields are good, and Symbol could be in trouble here. He has to win this game or he is going to go to the loser's match.
Oh, wow, here comes Squirtle trying to... He takes down the third base. There is still a third for Symbol. He built another one at the bottom right early on, but now is Squirtle gonna be sandwiched by the army of Symbol? That's the main question here. Army supply currently in favor of our Zerg player. 108 against 87. No infestors though, just finishing the infestation pit. Where is Pathogen Glance? Can he really pull this off?
I mean, it's starting to look like the answer to that may be no. He's got this flank set up, but even with the flank, these Stalkers have +3 and Blink. The Roach Warren is under attack. Force fields go down. The flank does commence.
Oh, wow. No force fields at the bottom. He's trying to get in here. Symbol is dropping in supply, though, and Squirtle warps additional units. This War Prism is so important.
The Warp Prism is so important. You're so right, and it looks like he is going to die here. More Roach is falling. The force fields are gone, but they did what they needed to do, and Symbol, he has no backup plan here, and that is going to be it. The force fields blocking the drones even, the Overseer floating over the army uselessly, and I think this is it.
Squirtle on a tear here. He shows why he was the runner-up last season, why he made MVP work for his money. GG! 2-0. Squirtle takes the first game today, the first best of 3.
Yep, he will go right to that winner's match, playing very, very well in this series. Basically, I mean, this game looked like he was going to do a 2-base attack. The third Nexus was made. It's not 100% clear whether it was going to be a cancel. Look at how Symbol looks upset in his move, but he's
crushed.
He's not out of this yet. He does have another chance in the losers match. But the Squirtle's build was really good. I think it was a Nexus cancel fake build, but then he lost all of his energy protecting his sentry, so he had to wait a little bit, then he tried to get a Nexus, and when he had to cancel it again, he was like, alright, that's it, I'm going.
Squirtle made this look easier against a Zerg player like Symbol. This is actually amazing. This was really well played. Guys, don't forget about how well Symbol performed in the GSTL, how well he performed in his recent GSL solo tournament competitions. This guy is such a great Zerg player, but Squirtle on the other hand, he was like, well, I don't care, I will 2-0 you, no problem. That was really scary.
I mean, like you said, he made it look easy, and right now these timing attacks are rare because Zergs have really figured out how to hold them, and it's not easy to execute them against Zerg anymore. But even so, he made it look like we were in late 2010, where people were just finding out how good force fields were against roaches, man. That's what he made that look like.
Do you know what I really love about the Protoss play just lately? It started basically when they thought about using the Immortal push on Metropolis. I love that they bring this Warp Prism.
Yeah.
This Warp Prism is just so much better if you have it in over your army, and you can actually you force field your army. You try to find this nice niche where you can use the force field to make sure that the roaches don't close the distance, that the Zerglings are not that much of a threat, and then you have the Warp Prism hovering on top of your army, and you warp units right into the battle. And earlier on, you had Protoss players always relying on these forward pylons, and as soon as the pylon is being picked off, suddenly the push loses all its momentum, and even if it doesn't, you still have to close the distance. You have to walk with your units you just swapped into your army, and they might be caught off by a few Zerglings and roaches that have
Warp Prisms don't take up space, man.
The Warp Prisms,
they cannot be targeted except by queens. They are just the perfect way to reinforce.
They are brilliant.
Plus, you can micro with them. You can pick up sentries.
Immortals.
You can escape with units. There's so much potential in the Warp Prism. I'm glad it's finally being realized. In all stages of the game, we are going to take a 5-minute break. When we get back, we're going to have our second match.
You could read 1,000,000 pages, know the words and all the phrases. You could try to turn a lie into the truth.
네, 7년간, 8년, 9년인가요? 임대덕 선수가 프로게이머 처음 데뷔했을 때부터 지금까지 이런 기회를 잡기 위해서 수많은 노력을 해왔습니다.
네.
결국은 이번에 2010년 11월 13일에 자신의 이름을 널리 알리면서 결국 기회를 잡아낸 임재덕 선수도